Debate, bro. Your topic.
He debates theology.
Yeah, debate
Theology,
like
fellow.
theism. I can
Do
debate.
you agree? Do you agree with like
Oh,
God's existence or not?
yeah,
You do. Okay. You want to debate that?
sure, bro. Use my new argument, man. The one that
I'll
I'm
take it
just
for a
learning.
second. All right. So you have an argument for it or no?
It's not a
Yeah.
new argument. It's something that was made like 30 years ago. But
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was
fine.
made like over 1,000 years ago.
That's fine. That's fine. All right.
It was made 1,000 years ago, but I'm using it, bro.
Yeah, that's okay. You want to give the? You can just portray the argument. I'll watch.
Yeah, I'm putting it in chat, so just in case you can't follow it. This is put in an Aristotelian
Major premise.
syllogism.
A type.
So
Okay.
that's why
A
you
type.
have
Whatever
major
possesses a property by degrees must derive that property from that which possesses it in maximum degree. Minor premise. Things in the world possesses properties such as goodness, truth, and nobility by degrees. What do you think truth is?
truth. So it's correspondence. You can say correspondence with the reality or some sort of.
Yeah, I don't agree to that theory of truth.
Okay.
I agree with the pragmatic theory of truth. Martha.
Okay.
I believe that everything. Yeah, no, I'm just saying that what your criteria of truth is, I'm not going to actually agree with. So
I don't care what you agree with.
Are you dumb, pussy nigga? We're gonna argue upon it.
We don't need to argue about it. What's the point? If we grant your theory of truth, then what? That's not what I mean by
so
truth.
Then you're gonna grant my theory of truth. You're gonna do you grant instrumentalism as well?
I didn't say I did grant it. I said even if I grant it, then it's not going to get you anywhere. So my point is
it really is.
Let's argue upon it, because when I say truth, I just mean some sort of correspondence.
What do you think a property is in this case? Possessing this property, that degrees must derive the property from that which possesses it in a maximum degree. What do you think that property will have to be?
Well, there's different types. What we're talking about. We're talking about pure perfections. Do you know what pure perfection is?
Let me try to.
Do you know what a pure perfection is?
I don't know who's winning, but Cal seems to be more persuasive.
Hold on. I'm just looking upon what he's saying right now. Hold on, 1 second.
Whyfun, you better shift this shit back to theology. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, no, I don't agree to any of this.
Okay, obviously you don't
agree to. Okay, I don't agree to the gradation. I don't. Yeah, I know, but I told you.
Yeah, but listen. Do you know what a pure perfection is? Yes or no?
Do I know what a pure perfection is? You want to give your definition? Go ahead.
Yeah, pure perfection is something which is not limited by its concept or by its essence. So if we say like
not limited by its concept.
Yes, like an example of this would be like beauty. Beauty in and of itself is not limited, but when we conceive, beauty is limited by the subject it adheres in. Or intelligence could be an example. Like if I say like, well, intelligence, the way it subsists in a dog. Wait, come on. Say intelligence, the way it subsists in a dog, cannot be as great as intelligence as it subsists in the human. But it can be greater in aliens, for example, or just other beings that can possibly possess it higher. So it's not limited in concept; it's limited by the thing in which it adheres in. Yeah.
So like for an example, ontology is just going to be limited within the thing it adheres, like metaphysics, right?
Yeah, it references metaphysics. Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So I understand that, but that's why I'm telling you I don't agree to any of those criteria.
Huh?
I don't agree to those criteria. That's what I'm saying.
You don't think that they exist?
No, I don't agree with the gradation in which you actually present, like goodness and shit.
Well, I just give you. Why don't you agree? You don't. So you think that when I say a human is intelligent and a dog is intelligent, I mean it in the same sense?
What are you talking about? That's not what I'm saying.
If that's not what you're saying, then there's gradation.
I'm talking about the gradation in which you're trying to necessitate a causal relationship to the maximum.
Well, when we speak of, you said you disagree with gradation, so we're going step by step. So
right, and this is going to be like goodness.
Calm down. Let me finish. Me establishing the fact that there is these pure perfections, which are only limited by virtue of the thing in which it subsists in. Then there is this sort of gradation. That's first what I'm trying to establish.
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. When you're speaking about you're trying to use the Thomas Aquinas account, which I'm obviously going against this. The gradation of properties in this case is just going to be something that's going to be entailing the existence of a maximally perfect being like God, right? But this is the problem. I just think it's going to be more of an equivocation fallacy. And the problem is saying that when you're speaking about the argument, it assumes things like heat or goodness vary by degrees. But if they're going to be maximum, then that's just going to cause the degrees below it, right? But I'm just saying that not all properties that emit 2 degrees must exist due to the perfect form of that property. For an example, I believe that tallness can come in degrees, but this doesn't imply the existence of a maximally tall being. So that's what I'm just saying. So when causing these other things, this is just going to be a platonic realist form, which I don't agree to.
We're going step by step, bro.
And we're going. I gave a major.
Calm down. You have ADHD. You're bouncing from point to
No,
point.
you're a little bit of a stupid bitch ass nigga.
Wow, I got offended.
Listen, that was not helping you. I'm sorry, that did not hit. It would have actually hit if you would actually fucking rhetoric on this battle. But it's okay. It's okay. Keep going up.
Damn.
Yes, now that we're done like going across the whole argument, we can get back to the point I was trying to prove to you, which is one, that there is gradation, and two, this gradation cannot be. So it must, because there is this gradation, then we must say this thing either has this property in and of itself or it gains this property from another. But we can't say it gains it from itself, because the same thing that's the reason for its negation can't be the reason why it has it. It's a contradiction.
Okay, your core assumption. Listen, your core assumption that you're basically saying is that the degrees of properties like goodness, truth, and nobility, and these things require a maximally perfect source of those properties. But I'm trying to tell you that the degrees of quality can exist without referencing a maximum or perfect instance. So when I said the gradation, I'm attacking the gradation, implying this maximally great being. You don't understand? That's a non sequitur. What? Are we good?
Am I like tweaking, or does he not understand we're getting there? Like do you not understand? Like we take steps to get to an argument. We don't just arrive there right away, dumbass.
I think he was critiquing the major premise.
Oh, you dumb.
I know he's critiquing the major premise, but first we just went over gradation. Now I'm explaining to him how they must derive it from something else.
You didn't actually
This perfection.
give
They gain this perfection from something else, because the same reason for its negation, aka its essence, cannot be the reason in which it has the property in the first place.
You're saying the same. So hold on. Let's break that down. You said the same reason it has the you said the same reason it has its properties.
No, I said the same reason for its negation can't be the same reason why it has the property. So like if I say this thing A negates B, then A cannot cause B, because it's the negation of it.
Okay, and what does this mean?
So dark matter. So then this thing cannot have it in of itself. It gets it from another.
So it can't get it from another source, because A would have to be.
I said it gets it from another source.
Yeah, so it has to get from another source?
It has to gain it from another source.
Oh my god.
It's a perfect source.
Okay, so there's a couple critiques I can give to this. Oh my god, you're a retard. Alright, no. Just because it gets it from another source, this does not have to be a maximally great being.
We're getting there, dumbass. Like, my goodness, bro.
Hold on, you're a dumbass. And also, just because, like I said, it gets it from another source, in this case, you're gonna now be trying to go against its brute contingency. You dumb fuck.
Anyways, you said I'm going against the brute contingency?
Yes, because you're now saying that it can't be brute. It can't be like this brute contingent fact.
What am I saying can't be a brute contingent fact?
Because you're trying to say that it has to be derived from something else. So you're saying that it cannot be like this brute contingent fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave my reasoning for that. Are you gonna negate it?
I just negated it multiple times, and I'll explain why it's a non sequitur. Are you dumb?
You said, well, it doesn't have to lead to a maximally great being. You didn't explain why it doesn't have to gain it from another. Because the argument I gave was the fact that since it's the reason for its negation, it can't be the reason why it has the property in the first place.
Are we good?
It can't be the source of its own property.
Did I not abruptly just went against this already?
What did you say against it then?
Are we good? Okay, just because you're not tracking, I'll help you out one more time, okay? And I want you to track this. So non sequitur. It's going to be a non sequitur because, like I said, obviously the premise assumes the gradation of the property in itself, and it's going to necessitate the causal relations from a maximum. But I said the degrees of the property do not logically require the single source, for an example, because we have things like how would we say this? Like temperature, which can be varying in degrees, but they're not just going to be caused by like a maximum of something. because the maximum doesn't have to actually be reduced. So the potentiality of this maximum doesn't have to be reduced to any actuality or have to actually exist in any sense.
Ryan, how many times did I tell this? Ryan, what have I been repeating like this whole debate?
Are we good?
Just give up, bro. Just concede to him, bro. Because it's not gonna
Sucks.
Like, Ryan, have I not been saying we're getting there like the whole debate, bro?
Right. I don't know why he keeps trying to like move on so quick. Like, stay on the
What's your
point.
theory of truth you're appealing to? I think that was relevant.
Yeah, it's very relevant.
It's not. What's it called? Correspondence.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah, why he asked you why it was true earlier.
We don't even need to get into that because it's not relevant to the argument.
It is very relevant because
we don't have to. We don't have to talk about
truth.
Shut up. We don't have to talk about truth in the sense of appear perfection. It doesn't matter.
No, because
I
you
feel
use
like
it within premise, so it's relevant.
y'all derailing too bad.
What?
Y'all derailing. Y'all are derailing.
Are you dumb?
This dig is derailing.
Yeah, okay, shit. Listen, no, I think he's actually fucking dumb. Whyfun, you're actually ass.
That like you keep derailing. Like you'll argue that you just derail to a point that he did not went over yet. So it's like, how
my
can
god! But he used it within his premises, which I'm
No,
trying to
wrong. Like he has ADHD, but these niggas can't like stay on one point for a second, bro.
Alright, here's just gonna be my main critique. I'm just
It's like that atheist where every premise you go over, like, how does this prove God?
I'm just gonna say that the premise just assumes gradation and implying
if I go
derivation
fast, this
from a
nigga's gonna
maximum.
get lost.
Listen, hold on, stop. Like I was talking about, the premise assumes that the gradation implies derivation from a maximum, but this is just going to be conflating the comparison within causation. For example, like I said, temperature, for an example. Objects have varying temperatures due to the energy transfer, but this does not make a derivation from a maximum temperature. Or like something that's like absolutely hot. Or like the height difference, for an example. We could just say that in height, we can advise like genetics / any type of environment, for an example, right? But that doesn't mean that it's going to be talking about the most tallest being in this case. So in these open and closed scales, we would be saying that many properties, like goodness, may lack a definitive maximum. So that's why I'm saying I don't agree that there has to be some maximum derived. So no, I disagreed with this.
Tallness isn't pure perfection. Temperature is not a pure perfection.
Oh my god, did you not understand me?
We're talking the major premise is talking about pure perfection.
Oh, I'm about to cook this nigga. Okay. Define pure perfection one more time. Watch this. I'm about to cook him.
Yeah, it's something which is not limited in its concept. In the
something
case
that's
of
not
its
limited
being.
in its concept. Why?
In the case of its being.
Why? Why?
What do you mean why?
I don't agree to that. I'm agnostic.
Why what?
I'm agnostic. So I'm telling you, why would we actually appeal to this criteria?
Why would we appeal to what criteria?
Wait, Whyfun, what did you just say, Whyfun?
As being something that's semantically
pure perfection is just something which is not
criteria?
limited to its concept. You're saying why would we appeal to this criteria is what I'm arguing. That's
That's
why I would appeal to these semantics. That's why.
So wait, hold on. Do you believe that this is going to have like an objective criteria? The pure perfection?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't agree to that. I don't agree with independent existence.
You don't think that things exist?
No, because I believe that they exist, only indispensable from a graph. Because I'm just gonna go under a pragmatic theory of truth, and I'm gonna agree with instrumentalism. So like I was trying to say, this is what I was trying to get to earlier with the fucking truth point. I don't agree that it actually independently exists. I don't believe that. As you're trying to say that this has an independent existence, but I only think that it only exists indispensable from a graph. Yeah, I only agree that it's going to be indispensable from a graph. So it's going to be something that can be causally graphed. It's going to be something that's going to be teleological within a graph. It's not going to actually have this independent existence or associate.
It was like when I was debating Kel on economics and he started bringing up like 84,000 different things.
So I'm going to be valuing utility. I'm going to be valuing utility in the case over metaphysical commitment.
Get off of ChatGPT. That shit's not helping.
No, this is not ChatGPT.
So like, listen.
This is something for myself. I've been writing this shit down. So this is my own.
Wait, answer the question. Like from what I'm getting from your thing, do you think that there's other things that exist independently?
Do I believe that anything exists independently? No.
No, that there's things that exist. Wait, nothing exists independently?
I don't agree with the existential quantifier. No.
Wait, nothing exists independently?
I don't agree with the
existential
quantifier.
Nothing exists independently?
No, I don't believe anything exists independently of the graph of a graph.
What do you mean of a graph?
Okay, so like I was trying to say, let me help you out a little bit. So let me take this philosophical approach, right? So when we're speaking about the philosophical approach of pragmatical and foundation of truth, we're establishing truth, necessity, and reality in such a way is practically indispensable and indistinguishable for pragmatical applied systems. So causal realists would have to tend to agree to such things in the sense that they establish reality not as this objective criteria, but as this function of utility. So that's what I'm saying. I don't agree to this objective.
So reality is just a function of utility?
Right. No, but that's not all I define reality as in this sense.
Wait, so do you think you exist?
Do I believe I exist? Yeah, nigga.
No, like
I can be
independent, like non-independently. Do you think you
No.
exist?
I'm saying no. I'm saying. Remember, I'm not trying to talk about my independence in this case. I'm talking about in the sense that when you talk about mind independence, I'm saying that all of this is just going to be within something that can be reasoned or graphed out. So its existence is just going to be indispensable from a graph. So when I hold on,
that's not what I asked you though. Cool, that's not what I asked you though.
You said, do I exist? You said, do I exist in the? You asked if I exist.
Mine independently.
Yeah, mine independently. And I'm telling you that the existence for pragmatism says that existence in this case means functionally real within a framework, not independently out there. So no, I believe that
Does that answer my question at all?
I believe that everything. I believe that everything we speak of is just going to have to exist functionally real within a framework.
Everything under this framework is going to have to exist.
Functionally real to the framework, yes.
So is that a yes or a no to the question? I'm confused.
Well, like I said, no, I just want to make sure we're not gonna get any straw man here. So to exist is to be importable into some like intelligibility to do explanatory, predictive, or modeling work within a framework. So yes, I do believe that I exist.
Did he somehow bring this up to basics?
You said what? Repeat what you said existence is?
Brought it to Bayesian.
This is pragmatism. So existence for pragmatism is just saying that you're gonna existence means functionally real within a framework, not independently out there.
So you're functionally real in terms of a framework.
Huh?
You're functionally real in a framework.
You're functionally real within a framework, yeah.
What does it mean? What do you mean by real in that case?
Damn, Whyfun been ready to his back.
Yeah, it's unlocked him. It's okay. It's okay. So,
unlocked him. What do you mean by real?
That's okay. That's okay. No, this is okay. To exist, listen, to exist fundamentally real is that just basically saying that to be usable within a system or thought or action for explanation, prediction, or modeling. So when something exists, it's not because it's an independent entity out there or like this independent ontological commitment that you're going to basically be importing. It's going to be this thing that's going to be imported into intelligibility. So it's just going to be playing as like this meaningful role within an inquiry. So anything that's just going to be having utility is just going to be valued in utility. Now, like I said, obviously I'm going against God, but listen, I want to say something. I agree with God, but not your definition of God, not your criteria of God. I believe that God exists only something that's going to be utility in the sense of I can graph him in a way in which he governs these moralities that's going to be indispensable from utility. So no, I agree with God, but I don't agree with your definition of God. I don't agree with the God that you're presenting. So no. Yeah. So yeah.
Yo.
So first of all,
I have a few questions for the view then. Do you think this framework is something which exists independently?
Do I think the framework exists independently?
Yeah. So you're saying you can graph it onto a framework, and what's the criteria for this intelligibility?
Okay, hold on.
Is it intelligible to your mind? Is it intelligible to some other mind? Or do you
hold on. What do you think? Hold on, no. I'm going under instrumentalism. I don't think you're actually understanding me. What do you think I mean by a framework? Just be so honest.
There's no one definition.
Hold on. I don't know why Ryan's talking.
You tell me what you mean by framework. Go ahead.
I just explained it to you. All right.
A system.
So a framework in a pragmatic sense is just going to be a coherent system of concepts, assumptions, and rules, and maybe even goals we use to even make sense of the world. So when we're giving like a guiding theory or a structured explanation, it's lens or like a toolkit in how we interpret and engage with reality.
Mm-hmm.
So you want my definition of reality? because you're speaking about like this form of existence. You're actually just trying to limit it to like mind independence or
Correspondence.
mind dependence. But this is what I'm saying. Or correspondence, correct. But I'm saying that reality is just going to be equaling the set of pragmatically indispensable elements for organizing reasoning, prediction, and modeling, or explanations. So, like I was trying to say, I still am going to value utility over metaphysical commitment.
All right, I'm back. My bad. I got a call.
Yo, wait, is anybody recording this shit?
Yeah, I've been recording.
I got spam called. Repeat what you said.
Yeah, so hold on, it's fine, it's fine. So like I said, reality is not all that exists out there, but it's just gonna be this indispensable thing that's gonna be for making sense of the world and our frameworks and practices. Meaning, reality is the totality of all constructs, frameworks, or entities that are pragmatically indispensable for coherent reasoning, explanation, or interaction. And this would all be graph. So anything that you try to give me right now, even if you try to give me a count of all that's gonna be within the graph. All of this is going to be having to applying some variables. Anything that you try to argue for God would have to
Basically everything that
it would have to everything you're going to have to say is going to have to basically be having some utility or usefulness in supplementing your point. So all of this is still going to be indispensable from utility, which is just going to be going back into my pragmatic theory of truth. So no matter what you do, you're actually just going to be going right back into my point. Any thought you give, anything you do, you're going to be losing this. I'm just explaining. But you can go ahead.
To be clear, your definition of exist is something which you can graph onto a framework, right?
My definition.
What are you denoting when you say something there?
So, like I was trying to say, so like it can be like this thing, like possibilities, for an example. Possibilities exist, meaning it will be functionally real within the framework. In the case, it's importable into intelligibility to do some explanatory predictive power. So, in this case,
it's importable to intangibility for who?
You said intangibility.
Is that what you said, or did I?
No, just to understand it in general. So, like possibilities, how do we understand possibilities? Do we think possibilities have this independent objective criteria of existence? Well, a pragmatist would say no. We wouldn't actually agree with that because we'll just be thinking about possibilities in the case of labeling it as this consistent criteria, which is just going to be indispensable from any framework in which we try to understand how they can actually speak about different criteria in which a variable can undergo.
You're speaking of these frameworks and things when you talk about these frameworks. Because in your semantics of existence, it makes sense to me. But if we say, calm down. I'm saying when we talk about these frameworks, do they exist inside of a mind or not? That's what I'm trying to get at. You're
asking if they exist within a mind?
Yes, or are they some mind-independent criteria?
Like I said, hold on. I'm gonna make this very easy for you because I don't think you're actually understanding.
You're saying I'm not understanding? It's a yes or no question.
How it exists?
Yes or no?
Stop.
Yes or no?
Stop. It's not gonna be yes or no. I don't agree with that. Listen. Stop. It's not.
Do you not hold to the law of excluded middle or something? Do you not hold to the law of excluded middle?
Listen.
You hold to the law of excluded middle?
A binary question is
Do you hold to the law of excluded middle? Do you hold to the law of excluded middle? Yes or no?
No. Chill out.
Law of excluded middle. Do you hold to
the law of excluded middle is gonna also be it's gonna also be something that's just gonna have to be grounded within utility. But listen, that's not the point.
You can think that, but is it?
When you're speaking about a question, hold on. When you're speaking about a question,
an axiom, yes or no? Are we holding this axiom, yes or no?
I don't know why you're trying to overtalk me. It's not going to help you. When you speak about a question aesthetically, you're talking about it has to be yes or no. It has to be strictly defined to binary terms. But you're just limiting the possibilities. I would just say that's a false dichotomy because I could give other possible answers to that fucking thing without directly saying yes or no. So no, I don't believe it's going to be a yes or no question. You dumb fuck. But that's okay. I'll help you out. So when I'm speaking about frameworks in this case and how they're going to be existing within the instrumentalist case, we're going to have to define things like truth, necessity, and we're going to have to define things like reality as well. So since I define reality, I'll explain truth. I'll explain my truth. Do you want to agree? Do you want to argue upon it? You ready? You dumb fuck? You stupid fuck? I'm about to kill this nigga on what I mean by truth makers too.
Oh shit! Let's go, Mike Tyson.
Okay, now you ready to answer the question now?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. We can go upon this. I just want to talk about truth.
Do you hold to the law of the excluded middle as an
I feel
axiom,
like we
dumbass?
need to actually establish that.
Do you hold to the law of the excluded
We're
middle
gonna
as
have to
an
derive the
axiom?
question.
So
We're gonna
to
have to
answer the
derive.
question,
Hold
I'm
on. We're gonna have to
leaving,
derive the
Yes.
X. Listen.
Do you
The
hold
items
to
that
the
we have
law of
right
the
now. The
excluded
items that
middle?
we have. Hold on. The law of
Do
excluded middle. I
you?
said that it can still be accepted within my hypothesis. There's no problem with that. Listen,
It's accepted as an axiom, correct?
and it's accepted
So
as an
then,
axiom. It
this
has to be either true or false.
proposition, if I
Yes
if
or
I
no.
put
Yes or no.
forward
Listen. Yes or
this
no. True or false.
proposition
True or
such
false.
that it
And yes or
exists
no
mind
is gonna be two
independently,
different things in this case.
if yes, then it is true. If
Listen.
no, then it is false. Thus, by the law of the excluded
No.
middle, this
Notice.
is
Look
a
at his wrong. He's
dichotomy.
tracking. Look at his tracking. Hey yo. Hold on, Tron. This nigga is ass right now. Hold on, listen. He just said that, oh, because if I didn't answer a yes or no directly to his question, this is just going to be denying some law of excluded middle. Because law of excluded middle is saying that something has to either be true or false. But no, if I say yes to something, that does not mean that has to be true in its sense. And no, it's not going to be representing falsity. You dumb fuck. It's not going to be the same comparison. When I say it's not the only possible answer is like yes or no. Like if I were to say, how's it raining today? How's it raining today? I don't have to say yes. I don't have to say no. I can give these other.
That's not a binary question, dumbass. There's binary and non-binary questions.
No, you're trying to say it's binary, but I don't agree that it's binary because I can give these other possible answers with no contradiction. Dumb fuck.
I mean, you're saying
So
you
that's
can
the
do
false
that.
dichotomy on your behalf.
You're saying you
Damn.
can do that, but that violates the law of the
wow.
excluded middle is my whole point.
Are you dumb?
Dumbass.
Are you dumb? Hold
So
on.
you gave an
Look at
example of
it.
non-binary question. So an example of a
No. You're
binary
trying to build a
question would
binary
be
question. You said yes or
there's
no. I said no.
either things are yeah, I can say things either exist or they don't exist. And I can ask you this in the form of
When you talk
But
do
about
things
how do they
exist,
exist?
yes or
I
no?
believe for me to
The
answer that
answer
question,
no
I
would
have
be
to
to
explain the
say they
how.
don't
I have
exist.
to
And if
explain
the
the
answer
how.
yes would be to say they do
It's
exist.
not yes or
This is
no.
an
It's not yes or no.
example of a
Because that's a binary.
binary question.
No.
Thus,
Just
yes or
because the
no
outcome,
is binary.
just because the outcome can be having yes in it or be reduced to some yes, that does not mean that it's only possibly yes or no. You dumb fuck. Oh my god, because I can give a justification. I can give a justification on the how, and this is another possible answer that can be posed to your fucking question. So I can actually theoretically derive the empty set of fucking priors. You dumb fuck.
Oh shit.
That's gonna be an X.
Damn.
When we go into like
Hey, yo,
Yo,
Cal.
Kel, he
inferential
left. He
epistemology.
left, bro. But yeah, I was gonna say even in Bayesian accounts, when we could actually appeal to Boolean logic, we have uncertain
Right.
truth. Like we can have uncertainty, and it could just be that a theoretical
Oh,
level,
that's
we don't
such a
know whether or
ratty
not
fucking
a proposition
perspective.
is true or false.
Did you understand that
Right.
Cal was
What's I doing?
providing
Oh.
mathematic
Oh, you're
way of
unmuted,